I used to be obsessed with football, but then I just like kind of like was like the man of it all. Like it's just like men getting all like jacked up and like ramming their heads into each other. And I decided, what am I doing this for? And it was to get and then I realized I could get out knowing anything about football. And so I kind of dropped it. And now I've picked women's sports back up because we have to stand united. Welcome back to the Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And Berenice. What's up, Ella? How are you?
Oh, it's a beautiful day to be alive. It's Monday. It's been a crazy week in the news. So I've been just trying to like avoid doom scrolling because there's like a lot of bad shit going on. But I think I've beat doom scrolling a little bit.
How did you do it?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you my tips and tricks. So I have a really bad habit of doom scrolling before bed and when I get up. And I was like, I need to stop this. This is like rotting my brain. Not even rotting my brain. It's just like causing me a lot of anxiety because I'm getting like the same news story over and over and over again. So like how many times I know something is going on, I don't think is really helpful. So I put it, dude, it's like 2 floors down from my fucking bedroom. I am now putting my phone outside of my room and like in my kitchen so that I can just like not touch it because it's just too easy for me to like, I don't know, like not be able to go to sleep for 15 minutes and pick up my phone and just go on TikTok for what turns into 2 hours.
Okay. I mean, I get that. And honestly, it's very taxing on the soul, honestly, when you see it like again and again and again. And I think it's like a blessing and a curse that we have like so much access to like what's going on in the world through the eyes of like the people rather than like I mean, still we get like algorithms, so like your point of view is being tailored for you. And I think that's just like important to remember. What has worked for me a little bit because I've been posting like a crackhead. I
I
got
love
nothing
the
better to
consistency.
do.
It's
Thanks.
inspiring.
I saw this. There's two like people I follow that I followed for years that I've just seen their growth, and lately they've just been like sharing how they did it. And one of the girls was like, when things were really bad, mental health wise, she's like, I was posting 20 times a day, and I, I was like, well, I guess it works, and it really does work if you post like I'm posting 5 times a day, which is like so out of my
Oh
comfort
my
zone.
god.
I
That's
feel
so
so
funny
annoying.
because like I'm gonna be honest. I like I like and comment. Literally, Berenice say one time was like, "You're a fucking bot, dude." I'm like, I'm trying to help, but I don't see 5 a day. So that's crazy that I'm missing out on posts. That's how much you're posting.
Well, yeah, because the algorithm's not going to show you like post after post after post unless you go to the following tab. Then you will
Right,
see
right,
me
right,
again and
right.
again and again. Which that's not what my intentions are. I want to be a sprinkle on your timeline. So it does work, but I will say that aside from that, I've just been like following more creative people in general and
Mm-hmm.
have been just like going to my follow tab and like seeing people who like I want to support's
Mm.
content. And that kind of helps me take like a little break from like the for you stuff. And when you start actually doing that, like I've been doing a lot of now like makeup and other creative people, your for you page algorithm also starts to like change a little because it's like, oh, this is who she's following. These are the videos she wants to see. So I've been seeing a little less. I obviously still get what's going on. Like I will never be freed from that, and I think it's just because I care, and that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, of course, me too.
But yeah. So, but I have been getting a little bit more of like creators, specifically like Latino creators, and I'm like, this is like kind of like my way of showing my support for my community is just going and like following a lot of Latino creators and commenting on their stuff and engaging with their things. And I found some really cool people. So I'm happy. I'm also like doing a giveaway. I'm trying to be better at like, I think when I first started doing social media, especially TikTok, I found like a really big community there. And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
made a lot of friends in New York. And over time, I think like as I put more people, person, whatever emphasis on connections, I stayed away from social media. So we're gonna go back to social media like just a little bit. I I still feel like if I had the choice to be like rich or famous, I would choose to be rich, not famous, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. No, you know what I mean? I'd get a flip phone and
Clock
that'd be
it.
all. But I'm gonna use this opportunity to just like build community and just be more creative in general and reach out to some like-minded, like valued individuals. So yeah.
Preach. Is that? Do you have any more updates, or is that like your update?
I would really appreciate if people they wanted to get like a little fit, a little gift. I'm gonna make I have a lot of fabric and just like a lot of things. So I think for Pride, I'm just gonna make a bunch of stuff with what I have and just sell it for like standard kind of like cheaper values for people to have like fun things to wear to Pride. I love like a whale tail moment. Like this has truly been whale tail summer for the past 3 years. So I'll be putting those up like in bulk, not even on my website, maybe just on my Instagram. And if you like something, if you could just take a look and see, I'm plugging myself. All right. I'm an
Hell yeah.
unemployed baddie, aspiring designer, and I have to make rent. So if you want to take a look, that would be cool.
Okay, babes. Well, link in bio. We will get you. We're gonna get you stuff. It's just gonna be you're gonna be like Ella. If you just want all of it, well, we could do it in bulk.
Yeah, a bulk shipment. If
You
you
know,
see
I could use a whale tail. Oh my god.
Selling like the park merchandise, it's from me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm at Green Lake with a fucking just a
Spread.
blanket.
Yeah, everything $5.
We have a good episode today.
We
I
do.
I I love it when me and Berenice like collaborate separately on a single episode topic. So we're talking about hot or not, real quick, rapid fire, and maybe a little delve into why into each one. So I am excited. Are you ready to get into it?
Let's get it.
Okay, hot or not? I'm
Mine starts with a little quick story that it's like one time I was on Hinge and I matched with this person and they basically just like reached out to me and they said like that Hinge was just like a game to them. It was just like hot or not. And that first I didn't know what that meant. And I looked really stupid for a second, but then I realized what he meant that like he doesn't go in there to talk to people, just to swipe. So Hinge/dating apps, hot or not in 2025.
that was so tough. I'm gonna say hot, okay? I don't know. I just hate to be like, not, no, hate it. It's so hard
That's
to meet
your
people.
bias
I am
because you
biased.
met
I'm
your
saying
boyfriend on a
I
dating
am.
app.
I am. I met. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I met my boyfriend on a dating app, so I hate being like, no, it's not hot. I think it depends on how you use it and having realistic expectations. Okay, and like I feel like hot with the caveat that if you have an off-putting profile like I do, you get better matches. If you come off as a liberal hair cunt, you're gonna get people who vibe with that. Okay.
Word.
But
Word.
I have to say, I went on my cousin's actually over. I went on her Tinder like recently, and I was like, it's rough in the street.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not hot. Maybe just
Yeah.
because I've been in like not as of super recent, but I have been into dating apps in the past 2 years and it's the depths of hell. It's just giving like people that need validation, which listen, like no shade. But sometimes I'm like, what are we here for? Then you have pen pals and stuff, and then people
Oh
are now
no.
like cheating on their significant others, and I just think it's causing more harm than good at this point. So I'm gonna say not hot.
I'm anti pen pals. I will literally I like try to like make sure you're not a psycho, and then meet me in public.
Yeah, and for me, like anytime that a girl is telling me that they've been talking to the same dude and they don't live that far away, or like they came to town but they didn't meet up with them, I'm like, that man has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. There's a reason. There's a reason they're not meeting up with you.
It's not that hard.
Yeah,
People aren't that busy. I know people are busy, but they're not that busy. They have
yeah,
time to text you every single day, and you have had an ongoing conversation for 3 weeks. But in the 3 weeks you've been talking to them in the same town, you haven't been able to get together. They're too busy to date me then.
yeah. Not if you're looking for a relationship. I think hot if you're looking for like fun, flirty friends, and maybe but you should know that. you
I
know,
agree too. But honestly, I think hookups IRL are better. You can
I
suss out people's
agree.
energy.
Yeah.
This is a hot topic. How are you feeling about Sabrina Carpenter's new album cover? Are you feeling like it's hot or not?
This one's an interesting one because I've heard a lot of different sides of the wheel.
Hmm.
Um, I think that I'm not gonna think about it too hard. You know what I mean? Like, if she's comfortable with whatever she wants to do, then if she's not harming anybody by it, do your thing.
My hot take is I think you guys are looking in the wrong place for someone to like be pushing against societal norms. Like popular music is what's popular. Okay? We have whole subgenres that are about subverting popular culture. Like you guys need to get onto some of these punk rock girly pops who I think are a lot less hardcore and way more accepting than you would expect. Like, I know that you would think, "Oh, Ella, you don't look like someone who would go to a punk rock concert." Well, see, that just means that like you're not at enough punk rock concerts. It's not that crazy. Like it's not underground anymore. But we have so many girlies. We have Amo and the Sniffers. I have like a whole playlist, okay, of people who are subverting popular culture, and that's who you should be looking at if you're interested in super feminist songs. That's just my point.
I think it's just like obviously everything that is like posted and looked at is meant to create publicity, right? Like that
Mhm.
is at the end of the day. She's trying to sell something, she's trying to create hype around herself. And that's what I feel like the agenda always is. And that's what you should also feel like the agenda always is. So with people's things are like iconic or putting not feminism or blah 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 at the end of the day, right? Like we want to treat women with values and respect, whether they choose to sexualize their bodies or not. I feel like that is ultimately your choice, and isn't kind of like the whole push for feminism to like, and like I don't know. I feel like there's just some sexism and misogyny in some people's takes, and I'm like, if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. If you like her music, you like her music. I personally like have not looked that deeply into like what is she trying to sell to the population. Obviously, people look up to her, but I also feel like it's our responsibility, maybe as like if you're a parent or if you have a friend, be like, oh yeah, that's meant to sell, and it's selling, and it's working,
Of
and maybe
course, it's
that's the
being talked
bigger
about.
lesson. Yeah,
I mean, it's like a lot of people are like projecting like like oh like it's this it's that. It's like maybe it's an album cover and they're trying to sell an album.
it's working. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do.
But I also think
Um,
it's okay to critique it, to be
oh,
honest,
100%.
because it's out in the
Yeah,
public domain. So I think if you have comments about it, I think that's totally fine. But I do think at the end of the day, I don't like that it's not that deep because I think everything is that deep. But I think there is like the what are they trying to do? They're trying to sell an album.
I have one along the lines of this, and I don't know if you were watching like Love Island, but this happens with
Oh
like
my
any
god,
reality
this
TV
was this
show.
is this is on my list too.
Well, I don't know if we're going to talk about the
Wait,
same thing, but mine is putting your opinion on reality TV contestants. I think that we're starting to normalize bullying a little too freely. So, like, hot or not,
bullying?
especially bullying. Like, I'm just saying, like, stating your opinion of a certain contestant on social media, hot or not.
Well, here's the thing. What is bullying? Okay, I think that's some critiques are not bullying, but some are bullying. Like, are we talking about how someone's getting called out for saying the N word? I mean, that's not on my list, but like, I don't know.
No, no,
That's not bullying.
I'm talking more about like when women are emotional on reality TV and people like, and now I think because everybody has obviously like a platform to speak on and people are monetizing on social media, there's like accounts, that are like basically reading women or contestants to filth. But now that's like in mass numbers. And I feel like specifically with Love Island, because I have been watching for a while and I used to watch like the UK version, there's been like several women that have like unalived themselves from like the bullying and the backlash that they receive from that show. And while I think it's like okay to be critical, I sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, I just saw 4 posts back to back telling this girl that like she needs help, that she has this and she has that. And I'm like, all right, what's the line for like criticizing and like piling on to someone? You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
obviously are seeing these posts on social media. The opinion is already out there. Like why do I have to 3 times, 4 times, double that, triple that, retweet it, post a video about it? Like when is it
I think there's like a lack of media literacy when it comes to reality TV show because for Love Island, for example, they're filming 24/7 through for however long they're there. They're there for like 12 weeks or something. Yo, I mean, someone could take our podcast and edit it a certain way to look a certain
100%.
way. And also, it's
Yeah.
like I just don't feel like there's enough for us to judge someone's character based on how they're being represented on reality TV. I
The edit they
also
get.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I also think that the Love Island, the thing that I find to be why I don't watch it anymore is I feel like they only have a certain type of looking person on Love Island, and part of it I feel like it's because people so harshly judge people who are on Love Island, and even the most beautiful women are getting hate about how they look, and that drives me bonkers. And so that's kind of like why I don't consume it, is just because I feel like once you're like in it, you're hearing about everybody.
It's been an overwhelming. I'm trying to get out of Love Island TikTok. I'm good. I'm not even keeping up with like every single episode. Sometimes I just put it in the back for like a good sewing background noise. And then my TikTok algorithm is just like reading some of these women to filth. And I'm like,
Yeah.
let's chillax, bro.
The only one that I was seeing was I was like, I'm a mommy. That's the one that's just been sending me because I'm like, is it a I'm a mommy summer hot or not? Because I was thinking like
Yes.
if someone said like I'm a daddy, I feel like I would need to know that right away.
I'm a daddy. I don't know. I'd be like a dom? Like a dom?
Daddy?
Daddy.
Could you imagine like a 35-year-old man with two kids being I'm a daddy? It's like, what?
I get it, but I've also like I'm not one to call my mom mommy or like
Me
that
either.
daddy. You know what I mean? But I guess like in Spanish there is mommy and then there is papi and it's endearing. So maybe, but in English it just doesn't roll up the tongue the same. So I get I get that one. That one is a funny meme.
I
See,
know,
but
it's
that
so
one's
funny.
harmless. That one's not
I
like
know.
yeah.
I know, I just love the memes. It's so funny that like sometimes you don't even like you didn't watch the original, you're just watching all the funny rips of it.
Yeah. I agree. It
Yeah,
makes
I
for good TV.
not hot criticizing people you don't know unless they're doing something that I think is objectively harmful, like using a racial slur.
Yeah. But
Not hot.
not hot.
Racial slurs are not hot this summer.
No, they're not, okay? And also sometimes like I see a lot of backlash for people with nose jobs and I'm like, you're just salty because you're not getting yours or you can't afford yours, okay? Let's be for real. Let's be for real.
Honestly,
Let's be for
I'm gonna
real.
be so real. So I've been like the bit that me and my boyfriend have been doing recently is like I have before fucking Brooke. Okay, so we know Brooke from Canceled. She got her eyelids removed, and everyone dragged her to fucking filth about getting her eyelids removed to get an upper bluff bluffosome or whatever the fuck, an upper bluff. Now I have been wanting an upper bluff for a while. People got so fucking pissed at her about this. Like we shouldn't be normalizing girls removing their eyelids, and I was like, I don't know that it's normalizing because is it really normal to like remove your eyelids? Like, can someone not see that as like that is weird? And so like I've just been joking about like, oh, I think I'm gonna remove my eyelids this week because it isn't. It's like funny that people think that someone talking about them getting it is normalizing it because it is extreme. But who gives a fuck
Yeah.
if she wants to remove her eyelids? I get it that it's like, oh, it's pushing an unachievable standard of beauty for women, but like people are already, she's being held to that standard of beauty too, so fuck it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, she's been problematic for other reasons,
oh, of course.
but I do see I
I'm not. I can't. I'm not co-signing every single thing this woman's done. I just think it's funny because people came for her about the upper eyelids, but
oh
I
yeah.
100%
Would do it
would do
too.
it too. And it's like, it's to be like, oh, I'm not insecure. And I'll be 100% honest. It is because I'm insecure about my upper eyelids, but also because I'm aging. Oh my God. I have a totally different view on plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery since my face has been changing with age. Before I'd be like, why would you want to change your face? No, babe, I want to get back to where I was like 5 years ago. This isn't my face.
Yeah. It's a judgment free zone for what you choose to do to your face for me. Like there's just so many factors. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
gonna be happy if it's safe. Live your life.
You
Live
shouldn't
your
feel
life.
like you have to, but if you
Yeah,
want to, fuck it.
it's okay. It's okay.
We don't call for, like, and all the discourse is only for women. Once we start coming for men for what the fuck they're for taking fucking just, all the fucking thing they do to pump up their muscles. Once we start coming for that as hard as we come for women, then I'll be on
No,
board
for
for having
real.
some type of discourse about what women do to their face.
Period. The only thing I ever, I guess, speak my truth on is when I see people under the age of 25 wanting to get plastic surgery, and I'm like, just wait, because your face, everything in your face grows and moves with age and time, except your eyes. Your eyes is the only thing that will remain like the same size. So when I see younger girls being very, obviously you're being influenced by social media and stuff like that about like my body shouldn't look this way, I'm like, everybody's body's different. I didn't get like curvy proportionally, I guess, until like what my body looks like until I was 25. Before that, I still had baby fat. I was still like a little bit more like squared shape in general. And had I guess, like touched my body before, I feel like things just move around. Things just like change as you get older. Your hormones really start to change. So like just wait it out right now. Honestly, if you're 21 years old and you're thinking about plastic surgery, what are your goals and dreams? Let's focus on those just for like one more year, girl. I swear to God.
We should take it seriously. Like, you're undergoing a serious surgery, and I don't think we should like putting our lives at risk to fit a like beauty standard. But I think there's some of us who have done enough work on ourselves and still are unhappy. Fuck it, bitch. Whatever. Like, you gone
Yeah,
to therapy for 10 years and you worked on yourself and you have this one thing that you don't like. Who am I to judge?
that's true. That is very true. Coffee shop slash park dates for first dates. Hot or not?
Hot. Okay, I'll tell you why. At least for me personally, people are like, "Oh, you should only go on a dinner date because then a man, like, you want to see if that man will invest that much time." Let me tell you something. I don't want to be sitting at a fucking dinner with some dude that is actually ass. Okay, so for my own sanity, I prefer a get out of jail free card, which is a coffee shop.
Here's the thing. I feel like for the first date, I think it's nice when they want to like show that they want to treat you, but I don't necessarily care that much. I think for the first date, stakes could be low, and after you start getting to know me, if you show me that you want to invest in me, then I know you like me. You know what I mean? Like I think in the initial date should be about getting to know each other at a more friend level. I
Yeah.
think like that's kind of how you get to know each other a little better. Sometimes like late night things lead to drinks and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that just complicates the vibe. Low stakes, daylight date. I want to see how you act as like a human being out in society. Maybe, you there's just like way more situations that you stumble upon on like at the park or at a coffee shop than you do at like an expensive dinner.
I am more likely to be cutthroat when I don't feel guilty about how much. I don't know, this is just me personally, all right? People do their own things, right? But like when I know that it's like either I have to pay for this dinner or this guy's going to pay for this dinner, I just prefer not having any strings attached so I can be more free with like how do I actually like this guy, because I think I would be influenced by some man spending $100 on me the first time I met me, and I don't think that is a value that I really is like high on my list. So I don't want to be clouded by that. And I think like going on a park date, babes, have you ever been on a grocery store date?
No.
Oh, babes, I love a grocery store date. I love it. You can see how someone see it's a twofer. You get your Sunday reset done, and you just say, "Hey, do you want to come to the grocery store with me?" I don't know. You think it's crazy, but you can learn a lot about someone by how they grocery shop.
That is very true.
Get people that have fucking incompetence out of the way right away. So I'm pro coffee shop date.
And I will say, if I'm drinking, there's a tendency that I will like you more, and I don't think that's giving me clear judgment if I like a person or not.
People look better in dim lighting.
That is very true. So tell them to wear shorts at the park and see if you still like them.
See, if does he show up in sandals? What do those toes? What do those dogs look like? That's more important to me than what you look in candlelight.
Hot.
How are we feeling about pit vipers?
Oh, is this the sunglasses?
Yeah.
I still don't like them. I think to this day, pit visors, when I see a man wearing those, I'm like, what a douchebag. I can't unsee it. I'll never
Girl,
be able to unsee it.
okay, I'm not hot on men, hot on women. I think women with
Oh,
pit
yeah.
vipers look so fucking cool. But I'm just like,
100%.
so as usual, the girlies can do it, but men can't. Pit vipers are for the girlies. No, I think honestly, there's so many women who like rock the shit out of pit vipers, but then I see a man and I'm like,
Yeah, mostly like in a festival DJ sort
oh,
of scene. I can't do it. I respect like biking glasses,
athletes,
like
yeah.
Oakley's. I think Oakley's have like a little bit more of a style. That is a specific customer. That is out like a little bit more authentic. But like
I love it. I actually think it's 100% true. And talking about authentic, how are we feeling about women's sports this summer?
hot.
Hot,
Women's sports are always hot.
always hot. Okay, but let me tell you about the hot summer women's sports events. Okay, we have
Yeah.
Wimbledon, and you guys
Okay.
know the hottest athlete right now that I'm obsessed with is Coco Gauff. She's ranked number 2 in the world, and she'll be playing at Wimbledon. I'm very excited about that. We also have the Ambien Irian. I think that's how you spell it. What's that fucking the? It's EURI whatever. It's the Irian. I don't know. It's a French word. Championship, which it's like 132 of the best female golfers. I've been recently into female golf, because I don't
Ooh.
know, something about like golf fits are like so high, and I've gotten into golf, and like I love women's sports, man. It's my new favorite thing now.
That's cool. I will say I'm like shutting the fuck up because I don't follow a lot of sports in general, but I do follow women athletes on social media.
Okay, I mean, I told you I've gone like I was from like I used to love sports, but honestly, it was because it was social currency with men. I'll be the fucking first one to be honest about it.
It
And
was
then
giving pygmy.
it
It
was
was
giving
giving
pick. It was
reform pygmy, but that's okay. Growth.
I'm definitely a reformed pick me. Honestly, it was such. I used to play games, y'all, and like the knowing football, it was like the cheat code, you know.
At
Anyway,
one point, yeah, Ella was like in fantasy football, and
oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
I
this
did
is not
fantasy.
for me.
I was doing fantasy football. I was doing fantasy basketball. I used to be obsessed with football, but then I just like kind of like was like the man of it all. Like it's just like fucking men getting all like jacked up and like ramming their heads into each other. And I decided, what am I doing this for? And it was to get dick. And then I realized I could get dick without knowing anything about football. And so I kind of dropped it. And then I dropped sports altogether. And now I've picked women's sports back up because we have to stand united.
Stand united.
Woo!
This comes from the recent video that was shown. I don't know if you've seen the Doja Cat video with Mr. Pablo. How he like comes up to her and talk about his brand, and then she like is into it on the video, but then later tweets like your musty, I throw away your musty shirt. So is staying quiet in the face of a recorded, like on camera meet, hot or not?
I think that okay. So I'll say my hot take. I don't think. I mean, it's hard in someone's face to like tell you what you mean. I think the more classy thing would be just to like shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if going on live and saying something hurtful is like beneficial. And like, was she really in danger? I hope not. I hope she didn't feel in danger, but I don't know. I honestly feel like unless you feel unsafe, it's better to be honest up front with people.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of like different takes on this, and obviously like people have media training where they're like, there's a live camera in your face and you're already being recorded. So I think it's hard to truly be yourself, mostly in a situation that's like sprung on you. Sometimes you don't know how to respond. But I am advocating for being a diva. All right? If you don't like something, say I'm good.
Yeah.
Be a diva on camera. Be like, I don't think like I guess it's just never been like my belief that like anybody with like public exposure owes me anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think it starts there, and maybe that's the conversation. I don't think just because you're like a public figure or you're really talented and you make something that I enjoy, you specifically owe me anything. I choose to consume that, and I'm grateful for the music that you produce. But other than that, like I think that's as far as like interactions go. And I would hate to like be on the other side thinking like, wow, I just met my idol and like she really liked me and really like she hated that entire interaction. Like, you know, that would make me so sad.
Not everyone's gonna like you, and that's why I was saying, like, I mean, I don't remember, or to me, I thought she went on live and said that sub and like talked about it, but they weren't live during the interaction. I thought that was what was happened. They met IRL, and then she went on live and was talking shit. And I was just like, I don't know if she needed to do that. I just don't know if that was hurtful. Like, and then it was like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry. Like that's not. I don't know. It was like a whole thing, but I think that you can just say in the moment, like, thanks but no thanks, or talk to my manager. I don't think you need to. I have you heard about like the Justin Bieber crash out that happened this past weekend?
Yes.
I felt like that was so. It's kind of like what I feel like every celebrity is allowed to do. Is like you're allowed to have boundaries. I know a lot of people talk shit about Chapel Roan, about her having boundaries of not wanting to interact with fans, but she's not like on duty at a thing. And I think that's totally fine. I think it's totally fine for Justin Bieber to crash out and say, "You're not clocking what I'm saying. I'm a husband and a father. Leave me the fuck alone. Stop being weird. This is weirdo behavior."
It is
I'm
weirdo
all about
behavior.
boundaries. Boundaries are hot.
Boundaries are hot. It's okay to be a diva. Divas are hot.
Divas are always hot. And I don't think it's being a diva to say thanks but no thanks.
Thanks, but no thanks. This one's sometimes I'm like, there's ones where like, could we receive backlash? Country aesthetics, hot or not, country bars, country in our current
I left
social
this off my
political
list.
climate.
I left this off my list because I didn't want to get heat. Because I was gonna say cowboy boots, not hot. Okay, I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna say not hot. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like, why are you No, I'm gonna say not hot. I'm not saying that
Not
country's
hot.
not hot, but like I feel like if you're not country, and like if you're from Calabasas and you're wearing cowboy boots, and like it's just signaling a certain type of way. That's
Yeah,
just
I will
me.
say I was into it a few years ago, and now everybody has them, and maybe I'm just over it. But I think I've just been getting triggered. Like, there's a new sort of like country bar in like the Williamsburg area of Brooklyn and Williamsburg specifically, very gentrified. So the fact that they put that there and like in the line, obviously you see a lot of people in like like jean shorts, jean overalls, just like very southern because that's like the whole gimmick of the bar. I was triggered. I couldn't go in there. I just like I think it's also like coming from a we went to like a predominantly white
Yeah.
institution for university where like a lot of people kind of were like into that vibe and they were kind of like the worst people on earth. So I think that whole sort of like gimmick and look right now, even I know like Beyonce is like promote like her albums like that people dress in like Western themed clothing to go to her show. I'm just like not into it. I have a bad sentiment. That's totally my problem. But for me, not hot.
Honestly, I think Beyonce though is like making a political statement about how far we've gotten away from country, right? And country people are getting pissed off that she's doing it. So I think there's like a difference when like I don't know, like people of color are trying to reclaim a genre, and then like white people are like, let's get more white people together to be country because it's like hot and making money right now. I also think it's like a signal of what is safe, what attitudes and what sentiments are safe at a country bar.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a safe space for people who have currently toxic opinions. I mean, do we agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree. I
Yeah.
just said not hot.
Okay, not hot. If you're country and you're like, I'm country and I stand for with LGBTQ people and people of color, then okay, this isn't for you. But there's like people who are cosplaying this shit that I just am like, I'm not about it.
Yeah.
Interesting time to pick up a country vibe. And that's all she
However,
wrote.
I will say the new country vibe I do believe is like UKG and house music for specifically for like 18 to 24-year-old boys. I went to Sammy Vergie. I don't know if you're familiar. He has pretty good music. He plays UKG and the music was great, but like
What's UKG?
it's like DMB. It's like United, like UK, UKG.
Okay, that's country.
Is not. I'm talking about the new wave. So what I feel like the new country music, like the new connotation, the new crowd that
Oh,
that
okay.
used to pull, is now being pulled into this. Because
Okay.
I just went to the show, right? So Sammy Virgie, UKG artist, and I was like in the pit, which like I've gone to EDM shows for the past like 12, 13 years of my life. I had never encountered this before. I walk into this crowd, and I literally see maybe like 200, 300 boys surrounding the rail and around the pit. No women. I'm like, where are the girls? Like, truly, I felt unsafe. Mainly, like, I don't know if you've met 18 to 23-year-old boys. That is the worst,
No.
most vile population, bro.
Nope, not in my
Horrible vibes,
radar.
right? I can't do it. So I go up there and we're like trying to move through the crowd. These boys start to boo us. I've never been booed for trying to move
What?
through a crowd. We were booed, and I was like, "Where is your mother?" Because I have words, bro. Yeah, and as I sat there being booed by like a mob of 18-year-olds, I was like, "We're doomed. Like this is awful." So I do believe that they have changed genres. So maybe I'm really mistaken about the Western trends. So I may be taking that back. But yeah.
Okay, what were you got? Were you just moving through the crowd? Were you talking?
No, it was
Okay.
literally like, as I'm telling you, like obviously we all paid the same amount to be there. All right.
Of
So
course.
all these boys were like layered in there, and we got there pretty early. So it was like maybe an hour and a half before the actual opener was there. But they were giving only like a certain amount of like floor passes for this venue. So yeah, when we get there, at first we're like surrounded by all these boys, and it was suspicious as to where are the girls. The girls were bullied out of there. That's what that was giving, all right? But obviously, me, a 28-year-old woman, I looked at them like, you have to be kidding me. And it was smelly, and there were some other girls next to us, and then they moved back. What the other girls that moved back told us was that they moved because they literally were like whipping it out and like peeing like, right there on the ground because they didn't want to lose their rail spots. They were giving
Okay.
vile
Y'all,
behavior, vile.
I'm gonna be so real. That is why Mama doesn't even try to go into the pit, because that happened to me where I was like, oh my god, people are pissing on the ground. I was like, holy shit. Like I I have experienced that firsthand and it traumatized me. I was like, I don't want to see this artist so badly to get pissed on.
Yeah. So I was giving terrible energy, not hot. I'm sorry, Sammy Virgie, music hot, crowd not hot.
I'm gonna be honest. I've had a couple experiences where I'm like, where is concert etiquette, bro? Like, people are just wild in these days. Because at least for like me, like I've been raving. Yeah. I think Plur's a little better than the regular concert aesthetic, but even some, I'm like, oh, this is like mad bad vibes at a
Aggro,
concert.
very aggressive. People are very aggressive. They're not very kind. Like, if you see someone who's like 5 feet tall and maybe you're like a 6 foot tall man, you may want to be like, yo, do you want to be in front of me? Because you can see past them.
I had someone push in front of me that was 6 feet tall, and I was like, you couldn't see right from behind me? Like, and I literally said that, and they're like, oh, my bad. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, some of those boys got scolded by me. I regret nothing.
How are you feeling about celebrity tequila brands?
Not
I'm
hot.
feeling not hot about it because a lot of people that have tequila brands, I have not heard shit about fucking immigration.
No.
Surprised? No. But like, they're just
Surprise,
surprise, surprise. They
surprise!
don't give a fuck. They're not really about the fucking culture. They're just about money.
Yeah, and the tequila's not very good.
No.
And that's
Mm-mm.
maybe is the biggest thing. If you tell me, wow, amazing, amazing tequila taste, like this is just took so much time and energy to make, and they really captured the essence of what this is about. No, it's not about that. Alcohol is one of the easiest way to monetize. Like you see, like
Yeah.
the Alex Earls of the world, everybody is coming up with alcohol brands and drinks because everybody drinks alcohol. So yeah, it's not hot for me. I think that there are so many really good Mexican tequila brands that
Yeah.
people know nothing about. And what a beautiful time it is to maybe go to like a tasting room and really be authentic with it. Be like, I tried like 15 different tequilas and I came to the conclusion that this is my favorite one.
Honestly, that's kind of like, I wanted to take this as like a jumping off point. It's like, dude, we could be supporting people who actually like give a fuck and like care about the history, and it's not just a money grab.
I 100% agree.
And their product is like these small distilleries that are making great tequila and are very like boots on the ground. Their family's been making tequila for like generations. It's not more expensive than this like celebrity tequila brand. So do a little bit.
Sometimes it's less expensive.
Yeah.
Like when I see Casamigos as like a top shelf, I'm like, why? That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought I would put it out there. Like, since it's the summertime, it's the summer where people are drinking tequila, support local businesses.
That's true.
All right, you guys. So the plug of this week is we have our friend and friend of the pod, Vanessa, who now works at Entre Hermanos, which is a Latin LGBT nonprofit in Washington that's been serving the community since 1991. They help people navigate healthcare services, housing assistance, and legal aid. And a really cool thing they have is they have a weekly podcast or radio show called Mucho Gusto. It's in Spanish. It's on every Sunday. And so you can check out their socials. It's Entre Hermanos Seattle and then Mucho Gusto podcast. I will link them down in the description box, but that is my plug of the week.
All right. That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and follow us on social media. We're at Thanks Number 4 You're Concerned. I'm at Berenice Diaz M.
And I'm at Ella L. Tudor. Love ya.